What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Man, this view looks calm and relaxing. The still waters, the moonlight on the lake. Very cool. Once again, I think this game has held up magnificently over the years. For a 2009 game, this looks incredible. Anyways, so last episode was kind of short, nothing really happened, and so what I'm going to do for you guys, since that was kind of a nothing episode, is we're going to release two back to back. I'll release this one right after the next one, and we're going to finally head to Denerim. We are going to go back to camp, because I do want to sell up some things with our little dwarf friends in the camp, but then we're going to head to Denerim, so without further ado, let's get after it.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier.
Yes, you had me quite worried.
You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. You spoke to Petra, did you not? She told you I saved her from a demon. I did, but I did not survive that encounter.
But you're standing right here.
Let me explain fully. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child, eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor.
This is an amazing story.
The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time.
So, as we already know from reading the codexes, that spirits embody one specific human emotion. Some are rage, some are hunger, some are despair, some are desire, but they're not all bad. There are spirits of kindness, of devotion, of peace, justice, honor. And whatever is in Wynne, whatever kept her alive, is one of the good ones. But it's not like we need to decapitate her right now as an abomination. She has all her circle training, she's passed, she's allowed to come and go as she pleases, and I'm really not worried about this at all. If she was an abomination and the spirit had any kind of negative intentions, it would have surely manifested by now. Then we will make the best of that time.
Yes, that we will.
The Wynne is basically not even just on borrowed time, she's like a walking corpse, essentially. And she's choosing to spend her last moments helping us with the Blight instead of going away, sipping some tea, relaxing, doing a tour of the world. Although I guess she does get to travel quite a lot with us.
What's on your mind?
Why did the spirit choose to help you?
I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there.
What about demons?
I could sense the demons, too, and their presence frightened me. It was the kindly spirits of the Fade that took the fear from me. I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched.
Do spirits watch people like that?
I suppose they must. It is these benevolent spirits that create our dream worlds in the Fade. Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times I would just feel its presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same entity. This one spirit was curious about me, and was guarding me, for want of a better word.
You're very lucky.
There were times when I was in the Fade that it seemed to stretch forth to shield me, keeping me safe. And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them.
She has her own little guardian angel. So the spirit of faith is your personal protector.
I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance, and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me.
As we all should. I'm glad you think traveling with me is worthy of your time.
I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight.
And that's the quote on her character page.
And help prepare him for the task that is yet before him. So you had better listen to me, because I swear, if I should fall before the end and you don't seem to be doing things properly, I'll get up again to give you a good finger wagging.
I'll hold you to that promise.
You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help.
Hope we don't have to find that out, Wynne. Yeah, it's, I think what likely happened there is when she was in the Fade as a child, maybe she just stumbled into the spirit, got lucky. Been with her ever since, watched her grew up, became attached.
Please.
As I was saying, the spirits in the Fade aren't always bad. Like this one that's with Wynne is attached to the emotion of faith, and that's what it embodies, is faith. They aren't always evil.
My boy and I have collected. And
she essentially has somewhat of her own guardian angel there that's been with her the whole time. It helped her save Petra, helped her at Ostagar. It's surely helping her with us, which we're going to see pop up multiple times. A little friendly spirit there helping us out. I'm just really trying to clean up some of this. We don't really care about anything Darkspawn. They all have that little negative effect on them that I'm not interested in, especially not when we just have things that don't do that are better. No, I'm not sure. That's 650, that's 550. So the clear fire crystal can stay, we'll get rid of the rest. Line and damage is the best, but honestly, again, we'll keep the clear one, it's the highest tier. Heavy chainmail can go. Repeater gloves, give those to Leliana. Heavy plate boots, no use for those. Redcliffe shield, we don't really need to keep this, we have better. Large clear spirit crystal, it's clear, so we'll give that to shield too. Just trying to clean up as much inventory space as I can before we go to Denerim. We're definitely gonna need it. We'll be able to drop a lot of this by the time we finally get there, so that'll at least be cool. Right, that should be enough for now. I did promise you guys that something was gonna happen this episode, so I'm not gonna spend too much time here. We're gonna grab Alistair and Leliana, and we're gonna take the party to Denerim for the first time.
Yes.
Go check out the capital city.
Yes.
Indeed.
Login is currently here right now, like Morgan astutely pointed out back in Lotharen. She recommended we just waltz up here and try and kill his ass. Well, I suspect that's not going to be the case. That, I believe, is Vessel of the Spirit. That will be Wynne's guardian angel, speaking of. Doing a great job for us. Now, obviously the Omega needs to be dealt with, so... I'm gonna heal so nobody else has to. Looks like Leliana burnt to death. Oh, I see what the problem is here. She has the spell that I was referring to earlier.
Ready for action.
Right, Wynne is actually in trouble with that, so we're gonna make sure that Alistair gets all the heals he needs from potions for right now. And now he's in a world of trouble right here. It's just letting us freely flank him. And that's gonna be his ass.
Let's make this quick!
Now eventually Wynne should be able to start healing her and us. Although we got that nonsense off her. Wrap the stone, wrap for the flank. Alistair, I need you to taunt the rest of these assholes. Grab those bozos' attention. We're just gonna sit in the back and chop that wood. She did get a new ability. I guess that's something we can use constantly going forward, no?
That was interesting. And draining.
What was that? Did you summon the spirit?
I called forth the spirit that sustains me, so that it could lend us aid. I did not realize it would take this much out of me. It seemed a good idea at the time, if a little rash. I think it may have weakened the spirit a little.
I would definitely say it was a good idea. We would all be dead if it wasn't. That makes sense.
Anyway, I feel quite all right now. And it seems that my little trick could be useful in a pinch.
Are you sure you can control that thing?
It's not a demon that requires controlling. Really, you need not fear it. I promise I'll be careful. And thank you. Your concern is touching.
She's very trustworthy. I trust her implicitly with anything that she's doing with that spirit. I don't think Wynne is somebody we have to look out for. She's been like a consistent moral backbone for us. I'm really not concerned about that. And I also trust that she would let us know if there was something to be concerned about. If she felt herself slipping. If she ever felt herself losing control. I truly believe that she would immediately let us know. And then what would have to be done would be done. I think she would gladly accept those consequences too. I don't suspect she would keep anything from us. So, actually, he's very much so a goody two-shoes. If you go into the Circle Tower as a blood mage, even if you save the Circle, even if you do everything right, if she sees you casting blood magic, she tells Gregor at the end. She will tell the Knight Commander that you're a blood mage, and they'll all try and kill you, and you'll have to fight your way out. These games can go very differently depending on your actions. Blood magic is very overpowered in this game, by the way. Alright, and here we are, the Denerim Market District. We have so much to do here.
If we have time, I would like to look for Marjolaine.
We absolutely will. Marjolaine is actually right up here. We have so much to do here. We have wives, we have some people to fire, we have a magic store, we have a tavern, we have a brothel, we have the slums, we have the Chanter's board over here. We have a blacksmith inside here. There is so much to do. So we're just gonna start chopping away at it, really.
Did you speak often with Kaelin?
You're asking
Good
me
day.
if I have a relationship with my brother, aren't you?
Yes.
Here is
I was
Marjolaine's
fond
house.
of you.
I don't think he cared much about my existence. I didn't mean anything to him. Anyway, to answer your original question, no. We never spoke. Well, maybe once. Marek and Kaelin had come to Redcliffe to visit the Arl. I was very young then. We were
the one who repents, who has faith unshaken by the darkness of the world, and roasts not, nor gloats over the misfortunes of the weak, but takes delight in the Maker's law and creations.
Boasts. It's boasts, sister, not roasts.
She shall know the peas of the Maker's benediction.
The peas.
The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next.
Peace, sister, peace. She shall know the peace of the Maker's benediction.
The Veal holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her bacon and her shield, her foundation and her...
Veal, bacon,
There's no
peas.
veal in the chant.
Does that mean
You're
there's
doing this on
bacon?
purpose, aren't you?
There's bacon in the chart? Can I interrupt this, whatever this is?
Oh, it's not an interruption, dear. We were just finishing up before mealtime. What can I do for you?
Feeling a little peckish? What are you doing?
Praying for the good people of Denerim who've lost loved ones at Ostagar. It's usual to recite a stanza from Transfigurations when you pray for the departed.
It's usual to recite the stanza correctly.
But that's what I said.
Can you tell me about the chant?
Tell you about the chant? What? As if it's a cake you might buy? Well, it's done enough, but a little too much nutmeg for my taste.
Sister, instructing the ignorant is a sacred duty.
Apparently
of
not
the
enough
chantry.
veal or bacon.
Fine, then. What do you want to know?
What was that verse you were reciting just now?
It's the 10th stanza from the Transfigurations. Lovely canticle, that one. Oh, you should have heard Brother Caedmon sing it, though.
He sang it well, I take it.
He had a voice like a bucket full of toads. Revered Mother Boanne, bless her heart, always said, if we had more voices like his, the Maker couldn't fail to take note of us.
I can tell that this sister's had a very long life in the Chanter and is very bored with her surroundings. What happened to him?
It was tragic, really. Such a surprise.
We don't speak of that.
He died?
He was in charge of the lyrium storehouse. It wasn't good for him, you see. He took off all his clothes in the middle of the chant one summer day and ran into the street. He tripped and fell into the vat of elderberry wine for the feast and drowned. We were 6 days drying him out for his cremation. He looked like a pickled egg. So tragic.
What does the chant say about Darkspawn?
Oh, there are some very stirring canticles about doom and wrath.
Darkspawn were created by mankind's second sin, pride. Arrogance became a great caged beast in the lands of Tevinter, an emptiness that consumed all and could never be filled. To satisfy its hunger, the mage lords assaulted the Golden City, heart of all creation, to take the Maker's power for themselves.
Why does no one ever sing the good stanzas during chantry services anymore? They speak them. It's called the chant of light, not the speech of light.
Sister, would you kindly stop messing up the chant?
See how you like being interrupted.
Well, you get the general idea, I'm sure.
Well, Doom and Wrath sells more than
Almost mealtime, isn't
peas
it?
and veal. The squirrel is
Blessed
bussin'.
the Maker and of Andraste his bride upon you.
The squirrel is enjoying it too. Right, so we have a little prayer service going on here between maybe like a knight and his bride. Do you have a chances board? Let's check this out. So we have Back Alley Justice. Eliminate the criminals preying on innocent folk in Denerim's back alleys. In these dark times, we must work together against the common threat. Sergeant Kylon has brought disturbing news that should anger all righteous people. In our own alleyways, footpads, muggers, and miscreants lie in wait to profit from the chaos of our times. They infect us like a plague. A reward is available for any information on these lowlives. Sergeant Kylon has also offered a heavy purse for any brave souls that can best these brigands and make Denerim a safe place once again. This humble chanter has added to the reward as well. May the Maker bless all who heed this call. Of course, we'll go ahead and do that. Had me at justice. Muggers, rapists, miscreants, cretins, all the kinds of degenerates robbing innocent people on their way homes. Definitely gonna take care of that. Missing in action. Recently, our hearts were lifted when many survivors of the Battle of Ostagar returned to us. Maker bless these men and women, and have mercy on those who fell defending our children from the Blight. Sadly, one of these heroes has gone missing. Rexel served in Turn Logain's vanguard with distinction. Upon his return, his wife said he was prone to quiet reflection and frequented the local taverns. One afternoon, he left his home and never returned. The Chanter was moved by the family's grief and is offering a pouch of coin for anyone who finds this hero. The chant says, "In saving one man, you save us all. Or if each of us lends a hand to aid his neighbor, anything is possible. Especially now." Go ahead and look for Rexel. Faisal's request. Master Faisal of the esteemed Guild of Free Sailors has informed this Chanter that while about guild business, he was waylaid by bandits via guile and other chicanery. He lost many valuables, but in particular an antique sexton was removed forcibly from his person. This sexton is of considerable symbolic value as it belonged to the first guild master of the Free Sailors. Master Faisal described his assailants as masked, of foreign descent, perhaps Tevinter or free marchers, and unusually coordinated and crafty. He has placed a hefty sum of coin with this enchanter for the return of his sexton. That is all. Go ahead and look for that while we're out in the slums. Logain's push. Brothers and sisters, word has arrived of an imminent conflict. Turn Logain's honored forces continue to root out threats to our nation, and their actions deserve support from the common people. While it is unusual to post troop movements to the public board, I believe it is necessary for brethren near the affected area to respect the honored Turn by aiding his troops. Provide whatever comfort you feel they deserve, and Ferelden will be the stronger for it. Treat these brave soldiers as you would treat Logain himself, and the spiritual rewards will be generous. Brother Nigel. Indeed they will, and now that we are aware of his troops' locations, we're going to go ahead and take care of that.
In the name of Andraste, Bride of the Maker, be welcome in this house. While the cathedral is closed, if you need to make wedding or funeral arrangements, you'll have to talk to Sister Olma.
Did someone die? I remember a funeral.
King Kaelin died, remember? Along with most of the army at Ostagar? Maker guide them all.
Now, if you recall, after a lifelong service in the Templars, eventually delirium catches up with you. It can cause dementia, night terrors even while you're awake, all kinds of prolonged use effects, and you see a lot of that taking place here on this Templar. Why is the cathedral closed?
That which you fear, living in the shadow of death alone, I have seen it is only a cloud passing before the sun.
The death toll at Ostagar was staggering. We've had a funeral every day for a lost son or daughter of Denerim, and we've many more yet to hold.
What's wrong with your friend?
Are they singing the chant now? It's a funeral, isn't it?
He should have retired to Val Royeaux years ago, but he wanted to stay and serve the remainder of his days in his homeland. It's the lyrium that does this.
Lyrium did this to him? Why doesn't he stop taking it?
He wouldn't be a Templar anymore.
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter.
He doesn't forget who he is, even if he can't remember anything else.
I'll come back later.
May the light of the Maker guide your steps.
You see his Templar buddy here is just getting a glimpse into the future of what's probably going to happen to him too, since he's going to continue consuming lyrium like that.
Strange that matters can be so tumultuous and yet the day still be so bright. Oh, my pardon. Just thinking aloud. Are you here for the Chanter's board?
It's kind of how these Chantry folk operate. They use lyrium as a leash for the Templars. Who are you?
I am Sister Justine, curator of the reliquary of this chantry. And pride again. It is hard to live up to the example of Andraste.
What's a curator do?
The archivist tends the books, and I tend the sacred relics. I also search for more to add to our collection, which is more difficult than it sounds.
There are still relics to be found after all these years.
My thought exactly, but I'm perpetually amazed at how quickly people accept fantastic claims at face value. A hawker on the street will claim to have an actual finger bone of Andraste. In this city alone, you could make the skeleton of 10 prophets from fingers alone. Curators often accept them as genuine. I worry about the authenticity of even our most holy artifacts.
How difficult is it to verify a relic?
When I was a curator of a much smaller chantry in Orlais, I thought that false relics slipped through because of laziness. But the life of the cloth is never an easy one, and that explanation always seemed hollow to me. Now I believe it's the seduction of the divine. We all want a personal connection to the Maker. We want to believe that what we hold in our hands is the actual sandal that slipped from Andraste's foot before the fires consumed her. Faith is of the heart, not of the head. When the heart is ungoverned by reason, charlatans have powerful tools to deceive.
Balancing faith and reason is difficult, though.
And often close to heretical. But I believe that the truth only increases the awe of the Maker and his prophet, not demean it. Even false symbols have the power to inspire, but it seems every year we fall more out of touch with the real Andraste.
It's true. Faith and reason aren't exactly opposites to one another. You can be very intelligent. I believe there are even some scientists and, astronauts that believe in God. The smartest people on Earth, they'll believe in something, right? Faith and reason aren't always opposing forces. It just depends. You can have people completely blind to reason. Like she said, they're often zealots. But you can also get people who are a little too in their brain and they can't believe in anything unless they see the proof of it. Well, if anybody would think that the Urn of Sacred Ashes was real, she would know, right? Being the head curator of holy relics in Ferelden. Do you think the Urn of Sacred Ashes is real?
Certainly. My research indicates that all of the ashes were gathered into a pot or urn, but it's been lost for centuries. That doesn't stop hawkers from selling pinches of the ashes of Andraste to gullible pilgrims. The real ashes may still be hidden somewhere, though it's possible the urn broke.
How many relics have you found?
Well, there's one that might be real. I couldn't prove it wasn't. Perhaps you can understand my skepticism. So many claims, so few truths.
I've got to go. Farewell.
Of course, enjoy your visit to the Chantry.
Well, now we know if we find any holy relics, we know how to bring them.
Magic exists to serve
He's in the business of all that, so... I have a Mage's Collective board back here. Do we have anything to turn into you?
Good to see you again.
We don't. Alright, what is this collective one? Blood Warning. While they tend to be careful and judicious in their use of force, the Templars do, indeed, make mistakes. I understand that several relatives of our friends among the collective will soon become targets of the Chantry, and while I trust that this will not lead to lasting harm for those innocents, I wish to ensure that those targeted are fairly warned and evacuated before the Chantry can send its message. I ask that a noble soul take the bundle of vials attached to this missive and find the 4 homes the Chantry is likely to target in Denerim. Mark the front door of each home with the goat's blood from the vials. Those relatives will understand the message and evacuate before the Chantry can threaten them. This seems very sus. Marking like doors with red X's like they were doing like World Wars. That's interesting. Have you seen me? The collective is saddened at the absence of the great mage Renauld. Our friend has not been seen in quite some time, and our gatherings are the lesser for the loss of his tales of ribald exploits and the aroma of his delicious twice-baked meat pies. Renauld was last seen traveling in the direction of the Brazilian forest. Oh, how he did so love the outdoors. Anyone who returns with evidence of the whereabouts of the beloved mage Renauld will be rewarded. Keep an eye open for that. We have, as I said, lots and lots to do here. I think we picked up the quest already for the Hooded Couriers, so we're going to go ahead and talk to this one while we're down here.
My client appreciates your generosity.
I'm sure he does. Creepy little man. He is Sergeant Kylon. We just read about him, actually. What do you have for us, Sergeant?
You here to report another crime? I swear we should just cordon off the entire district. Oh, can I help you, Warden?
Is the Market District really that bad?
The lower market isn't deemed important by the Captain of the Guard, even less with Al Howe in charge. So when I finally get the new men I request, I get the delightful surprise of discovering their Lord Such-and-Such's illegitimate, untrained, moronic whelps. But lords keep sending me more of them. It's decent pay, no expectations, a uniform. So I have a legion of bastards to protect the market from pickpockets, stabbings, and whatnot, and Arl Howe's specially picked men are the worst of the lot.
Yeah, but they are. The Arl and I have a rich history. Tell me about his men.
With the bastards, I just have to worry about dicing, the odd bit of drool, or yelling at them too loudly and hurting their poor feelings, and then getting chewed out by their noble fathers. But I swear, the Arl's men are more criminal than the miscreants we occasionally arrest.
It's not surprising.
Are the criminals we have to arrest. So if your lifeblood isn't draining in the gutters as we speak, don't bother reporting it.
Arl Howe is a scumbag, and so of course all of his friends are scumbags too. How do you know who I am?
Your likeness was passed around to the senior guardsman at the palace. I must say, the sketch didn't do you much justice. Don't worry, even if I believed the official story of what happened at Ostagar, I'm no fool. If I asked my men to apprehend you, they'd all run and cry big sobby tears in their courtesans' bosoms and leave me all alone to be skewered. Don't disturb the peace in the market, and that's well enough for me.
I don't intend to. Do you need any help?
What? You're serious?
Of course.
Yes, I could use help. I've got a pretty popular establishment that's crawling with mercenaries.
Right.
If I send my boys in, someone might get, maker forbid, hurt, and I'll have to explain to their noble fathers that being a guard is actually dangerous.
What do you need me to do?
The name of the whorehouse is the Pearl. Beat down any mercenaries that are out of line and send them a message. I said beat down, not kill. Let me make that really clear. Not on fire, or exploded, or make a nose, whatever type of grisly death you can dream up. Sorry. Used to giving orders to my boys. Just leave them breathing and I'll be happy.
Sign me up, Sergeant.
Thank you, Warden. Happy hunting.
Indeed. And right here is Wade's Emporium. This is a blacksmithy that we are going to be running into a lot. Let's actually go talk to them right now. It'll be funny to get a little look at them before we start stressing them out. The shadows of this game are just broken right now. I'm going to have to try and fix that, because that's going to drive me crazy. Talk to Heron.
Welcome, friends. Welcome to Wade's Emporium. We have the finest armors in Denerim, maybe in all of Ferelden. How may we assist you?
Tell me about Wade.
You're obviously not from around here. Wade is possibly the most brilliant armorsmith in all of Ferelden.
That's not true, Heron. The dwarves of Orzammar make the finest armors around. These piles of rust droppings you forced me to make are worthless compared to their work. You never let me have the time, the materials to make something special.
Customers expect their armor in a timely fashion, not years late like the last time.
That happened once, just once, and you never let it drop.
Who's in charge here?
I am.
Wade owns the Emporium, but without expert assistance and, well, prodding, let's just say the Emporium has improved substantially with our partnership.
Right.
But I do miss the good old days. I could really take my time to make quality.
Oh, by all means, you can return to them. And to the gruel you used to fancy.
No. Sorry, Heron.
Let's see what you have for sale.
Certainly.
I'm gonna try and get in the middle of that little lover's tiff, whatever's going on there. What do you have? You're an armorer, right? Let's see. He has drake skin, leather armor, and some silver eye pieces. It's not bad. Not great, but it's not bad. I'm gonna go ahead and head out of this abyss. Hope the rest of the buildings in Denerim aren't like that. Denerim is actually a really interesting place, bug-wise. There can be all kinds of issues here. Like, for example, if you have your graphics set to high, your game will just crash when you're in Denerim. The rest of the game works on the max graphical settings, but Denerim does not. Every load screen you go through in Denerim on high settings will just crash your PC. So
you can get anything here. That's my sister's house. I'm almost sure of it. This is the right address. She could be inside. Could we go and see?
yes, let's do that.
Will she even know who I am? Does she even know I exist? My sister. That sounds very strange. Sister. Oh,
Get the extra chrome out of your system right now.
Let's go. Let's just go.
Indeed. So there's actually a mechanic in Origins called hardening, and we are going to harden Alistair and Leliana, which is going to change their personalities a little. It's going to make them more selfish and more capable of making the hard decisions instead of being so happy-go-lucky like a puppy. You see more graphical bugs going on in here with this. Yeah, we're going to hope for the best with this. Wynne is also bugging out a little. Denerim is not playing nicely.
Let's get started.
Hello? Hey, you have linens to wash? I charge 3 bits on a bundle. You won't find better. And don't trust what that Natalia woman tells you either. She's foreign and she'll rob you blind.
I'm not here to have any wash done. My name's Alistair. Well, this may sound sort of strange, but are you Goldana? If so, I suppose I'm your brother.
My what? I am Goldana, yes. How do you know my name? What kind of tomfoolery are you folk up to?
He's telling the truth. Listen to him.
Look, our mother, she worked as a servant in Redcliffe Castle a long time ago before she died. Do you know about that?
You! I knew it! They told me you was dead. They told me the babe was dead along with mother, but I knew they was lying.
They told you I was dead? Who? Who told you that?
Them's at the castle. I told them the babe was the king's and they said he was dead. Gave me a coin to shut my mouth and sent me on my way. I knew it.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that. The babe didn't die. I'm him. I'm your brother.
Ugh, for all the good it does me. You killed mother, you did, and I've had to scrape by all this
That's
time.
an insane perspective.
That coin didn't last long, and when I went back, they ran me off.
You're the one who took the bribe. That's hardly Alistair's fault, is it?
And who in the Maker's name are you? Some servant of his to carry all his riches, I expect.
Oh, you don't want to smoke.
That way. He's my friend, and a Grey Warden just like me.
Oh, I see. A prince and a Grey Warden too. Well, who am I to think poorly of someone so high and mighty compared to me? I don't know you, boy. Your royal father forced himself on my mother and took her away from me. And what do I got to show for it? Nothing. They tricked me good. I should have told everyone. I got 5 mouths to feed. And unless you can help with that, I got less than no use for you.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
She sure does make a lot of assumptions. Goldana, Alistair came here hoping to find his family.
Well? So he's found it. I'm his sister. But what are you to me, boy? Except the one who took my mother away,
You think I wished her dead?
It's not his fault.
I never wanted that. I didn't have the life you think I did, Goldana.
I suppose not. A bastard is still a bastard, isn't he? But... brother or no, I've got 5 mouths to feed and no time to spare until they are.
And let me promise you this, Goldana. I'll do whatever I can, speak to whomever I have to ensure you and your children are taken care of.
That sounds all well and fine, but you'll have to forgive me if I don't exactly hold my breath.
You have my promise. I can't give you more than that. Let's go. I want to go. Goodbye, sister.
Yeah, we don't need to deal with this nonsense.
Well, that was not what I expected, to put it lightly. I lived up to my promise, I suppose, but this is the family I've been wondering about all my life? I can't believe it. I guess I was expecting her to accept me without question. Isn't that what family is supposed to do? I feel like a complete idiot.
Okay, so to make sure that you harden Alistair here, you need to make sure you pick option number 2. Everyone is out for themselves. You should learn that.
Yes, I suppose you're right. I should. Let's just go. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Right, and now Alistair is hardened, and whenever we go back to camp and talk to him about this, you're going to see a little shift in his personality going forward in the game. Here's one of the doors we have to mark. Put some kind of blood mage ritual on that door, I believe. It didn't seem above board. Isn't that Commander Tavish?
Turn your attention elsewhere. My business does not concern you.
I have something you might be interested in.
I doubt that. Yes, you're right. This is very interesting. I'll take this note from you, and I'll confiscate this lyrium as evidence. You have done a great thing here, friend. Those rogue mages' days are numbered.
Now, as always, things not being necessarily completely above board, I would like to point out some corruption in the Templar Order, because it's those corrupt Templars that will eventually kill mages where they don't need to, either because they want more lyrium, the shipment wasn't big enough, or just they're just general scum, right? They're willing to take bribes from mages to get lyrium in their hands, then what aren't they willing to do? I'd like to get those out of the Templar Order so the population and mages can start trusting it again. You don't build an establishment people feel like they can trust by letting rogue elements run it and ruin it. It's 2 doors taken care of. Oh, we had to talk to widows, and this is one of them. I guess we don't have that quest just yet. Now, this is the assassin contact for Leliana. That's going to be Marjolaine's house. We'll try and get this fight done, I suppose. We did do Alistair. We can try Leliana, certainly. Might not go to plan. If not, you'll see an edit and an end of the episode. Alright, here we are. We actually had to set the graphics settings all the way down to low to get this building to even spawn in. That is not an issue I've run into before. Usually turning them down to medium works. It's the worst I've ever had it. This is going to be a very tough fight. It is ambitious to come in here at that level. But we will see.
Make a preserver.
See if we can do it. Have a pretty solid build.
Is that all you've got?
Alistair's certainly been holding up very good so far, so I'm kind of confident coming in here. That's the Canary Guards taken care of. Whoever hired Leliana was certainly concerned about us coming in here. Right, based on who we're fighting, Wynne, go ahead and give us frost weapons. It couldn't hurt. We are going to drop a save now that we took care of those Canary. And who do we have?
Leliana. Ah, so lovely to see you again, my dear. Spare me the pleasantries. I know you're... Oh, you must excuse the shabby accommodations. I try to be a good host, but you see what I have to work with. This country smells like wet dog everywhere. I cannot get the smell out. Even now it is in my hair, my clothes. Ugh.
I despise all legions. Why did you send assassins after Leliana?
So businesslike, your companion. You framed me, had me caught, and tortured. I thought that in Ferelden I would be free of you, but it seems I am not. What happened to make you hate me so? Why do you want me dead so badly? Dead? Nonsense. I know you, my Leliana. I know what you are capable of. 4 or 5 men you can dispatch easily. They were sent to give you cause to come to me. And see, here you are.
We're not gonna let her take a little snaky back turn here. We don't believe you.
You are so transparent. What are you up to, Marjolaine? Why are you in Ferelden? In truth, you have knowledge that you can use against me.
Oh, so she dropped that act really quick, huh?
I cannot let you be. Did you think I did not know where you were? Did you think I would not watch, my Leliana? What is she up to, I thought? The quiet life, the peasant clothes, hair ragged and messy like a boy. This is not her. You were planning something, I told myself, so I watched. But no letters were sent, no messages, you barely spoke to anyone. Clever, Leliana, very clever. You almost had me fooled. But then, you left the Chantry so suddenly. What conclusion should I draw? You tell me. You think I left because of you? You think I still have some plan for revenge? You are insane, paranoid.
She is. Leliana is helping the Grey Wardens. That's all.
Oh, is that what you think? If I were you, I would believe nothing she says. Not a one. She will use you. You look at her and you see a simple girl, a friend, trusting and warm. It is an act.
I am not you, Marjolaine. I left because I didn't want to become you.
Oh, but you are me. You cannot escape it. No one will understand you the way I do, because we are one and the same. Do you know why you were a master manipulator, Leliana? It is because you enjoyed the game. You reveled in the power it gave you. You cannot change or deny this.
But she can talk about how we shouldn't trust Leliana all she wants, but she is clearly a fucking sociopath, and I trust anything Leliana says way more than anything Marjolaine does. If I have to pick between these two people right here, the choice is easy. It's a no-brainer. I trust Leliana, no matter what you say.
Thank you. You will not threaten me or my friends again, Marjolaine. I want you out of my life forever.
You know she will hound you as long as she lives.
You've caused too much pain for too many, Marjolaine. It ends here.
And you think you can kill me like
Yes.
that? I made you, Leliana. I can destroy you just as easily.
Right. This is a very hard fight. There's all kinds of problems that we're gonna have to deal with here, so right away I'm gonna put Wynne back here. Leliana is just kinda gonna hope for the best, to be honest. Now, we'll try and knock her down. I didn't suspect it would work out very well. There's a lot of problems here that we have to deal with. I need this traveler to die, or at least be out of the way. We need to start working on those, because they're going to be a huge problem. We also need these Qunari warriors to be dead. We have to be very careful of Alistair. He dies, this is all over. So he's going to be taking lots of sips, lots of pauses. Okay, one Qunari dead.
You're getting sloppy.
He's going to be taking a lot of sips in this fight. Leliana, just do what you can. Alistair, you need another sip. We're just going to try and chop the wood on this Qunari. If we can get him dead, it will make all of this a little easier.
Victory shall be mine. On your guard.
Okay, now. Both Qunari are dead. We just need to kill the mages.
For a little cleanup.
One mage dead. Right, now we're just down to Marjolaine. She's the last one left. It looks like we've kind of managed to pull this off. She's almost out of there. And there's her herd.
It's over.
She is very dead.
I need some time to myself. We will talk later.
Oh, she's very dead. There is 0% chance that she faked that. Brains are under the end table. So we're gonna go ahead and loot this place up. That is a very hard fight, especially at this level. I would not recommend trying to do that right now unless you're very comfortable with game mechanics and confident in your party build. It's one of the toughest fights in the game, actually. This little room with the giant Qunari and the two mages spamming you at either side with the death traps in front. That's a tough fight. That is Dragon Age Origins telling you not to come in here. But we got it done. And since we did do Alistair and Leliana's quests, we're actually going to head back to camp and get the conclusions to those quests, and then we'll call it a day. Then we'll come back to Denerim and start going through this place proper. Back to camp. And we have some conversations to have. And then we can turn the graphics settings back up, because low settings is abysmal. I don't even know what that is. That's all kinds of graphical problems on low. Right, Alistair?
Something on your mind?
I have some questions.
Of course.
Why did you keep your birthright a secret?
You never asked?
Did you not trust me? I thought we were friends.
We are friends. I didn't mean to... It wasn't supposed to... Oh, let me explain. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then, after the battle, when I should have told you... I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that?
I guess I can understand that.
I should have told you, anyway. It was important for you to know. I guess part of me likes you not knowing.
Why? What happens when people find out?
They treat me differently. I become the bastard prince to them, instead of just Alistair. I know that must sound stupid to you, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me.
It doesn't sound stupid at all.
For all the good it does me, my blood seems certain to haunt me no matter what I do. I guess I should be thankful that Arl Eamon is far more likely to inherit the throne. If he's all right. Oh, I hope he's all right. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. It was a dumb thing to do.
Apology accepted.
I guess it's kind of a relief that you know now. Let's go.
Indeed. And there is such a thing as a gilded cage. It would be nice to be king of Ferelden, surely, but at the same time, I don't think it's all it's cracked up to be, too. That's why usually the best leaders are the ones who don't want to be. Go ahead and talk to... This is very distracting. Go ahead and talk to Leliana.
Oh, hello. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
I'd like to talk about what happened today.
It's nothing. I'm fine. I'm just thinking.
What about?
I can't get what happened out of my head. I'd been in Lothering for years, and she still thought I was plotting against her. She didn't trust me. Maybe she never did. She loved me when she could use me and control me. And now that she can't, she wants me dead. It hurts to realize that I never really knew her.
Is there anything I can do?
You are already helping so much by listening to me. I knew she was ruthless, but I didn't know how far she could go. She is self-serving, cruel. She uses people, then discards them. But that's how she survives in the life she leads. What if she's right? What if we're the same? I should just have stayed in the Chantry.
But you said the Maker wanted you to leave.
I could have been wrong about the Maker. I know you doubt me sometimes. Maybe you're right. Maybe I just tell myself he's there to console myself, to know there's someone watching out for me, to know I'm not alone.
Having a little crisis of faith here. You're not alone, Leliana.
But I was. I was alone and desperate when I fled to Ferelden. I went to the only place I knew would take me. I forgot my life as a bard while I was in the cloister. I felt safe. I didn't have to watch my back all the time. That's what made Marjolaine the person she is, don't you see? It ruined her. It will ruin me too. It's already happened. When we killed her, I enjoyed it. Seeing her dead gave me satisfaction.
She did you a great injustice.
But that is no reason to rejoice over her death. That is what she would do. I don't want that. What we're doing, what we've done, hunted men down, killed them. Part of me loves it. It invigorates me, and this scares me. I feel myself slipping.
You're not slipping. This is who you are.
I admit that I took great pleasure in the intrigue back in Orlais, It was dangerous and chaotic and exciting, but it destroyed my life. I thought the Chantry showed me another path. I thought I was done with this life. Am I wrong?
But even in the Chantry, you know you didn't belong.
There is this thought that floats into my mind constantly. That I lie when I say the Chantry gave me peace, when in truth it bored me. Here, with you, knowing the freedom of the road and the uncertainty of tomorrow, I feel alive again.
Go with what your instincts tell you.
I would like to be alone for now. I have many things to consider. Thank you for listening to me.
Of course. So, those things aren't mutually exclusive. She's having a little crisis of faith there, but you can believe in the Maker and also be a bard spy. You know, Marjolaine did her a great injustice. It would be strange if she didn't kind of revel in the fact that we cut her head off there. I mean, she got her, what, thrown in an Elysian dungeon and tortured falsely. She forged documents to make Leliana take the fall for her, and then still hunted her after years of being tortured. She decided that it wasn't enough, and she had to hunt her down and do it some more. Anybody would feel happy that she was finally dead. That's not something to shy away from for Leliana, and her skill set and her past is not something she'll ever be able to run away from. She needs to accept that, and move forward with both. She can be a bard spy and also get visions from the Maker if that's what she believes. Not mutually exclusive. She doesn't need to walk away from her old life, she needs to walk forward into a new one. She'll always carry her past with her like a turtle carries its shell, but that doesn't mean it has to, like, cripple her on her back. Shells make you stronger. Wear it like armor, so then it can never be used against you. Like, Tyrion Lannister tells Jon Snow. But that takes care of Leliana, and as for Alistair, he's just not willing to say anything to us about it right now, so I suppose that's going to be it for that. Since there's so many graphical issues going on, I'm actually going to end the recording and turn that back up and hope that that fixes the issue, so thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you guys soon with more Dragon Age Origins. Take care, guys. Have a good day.